This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by... This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by...
YouGetGold.com with the letter U.
The sign actually shows taxes and then the equal sign and then traffic.
California Free Staters living off the New Hampshire reservation and going off mission. Sort of. As you may already know, they were arrested for trying to basically wave a sign in California. Now, they're pretty good at promoting themselves. I think they'll be a heck of an asset when they get to New Hampshire, but I don't think this event was a wise use of their time. Yeah, pretty much any peaceable activism is better than no peaceable activism. But you want to get the most bang you can out of every minute of activism. Here's what I mean by that. Liberty activists planning a move to New Hampshire should follow one rule above all others, or almost all others. The rule is only 5 words long, so it shouldn't be hard to remember. Focus activism on New Hampshire. Trust me, every minute you spend in California trying to help New Hampshire liberty is worth 10 minutes trying to free San Francisco, or wherever. Heck, I think this concept is so important, I should probably make a song out of it. Focus activism on New Hampshire. I do not buy Free Talk Live's assertion that you need to get out from behind your computer to do activism. Sometimes I think you are much better getting off the street and going toward your computer to do activism. And when you're outside New Hampshire, that's where this is mostly true. I think this concept primarily applies to those who are outside New Hampshire. There are hundreds of things you can do before you move here to kind of prepare the ground for where you're going to be. I've been collecting a list of these items, action items, and I've placed them at RidleyReport.com/Legion for you to view if you need resources or ideas.
RidleyReport.com/Legion. RidleyReport.com/Legion.
Why are you guys doing that?
Raising awareness.
This is actually the second story I've done about this. I think the first one was years ago. I called it Save Civil Disobedience for New Hampshire. But yeah, I want to enhance that concept and say you don't want to wait to do your activism if you live in Texas or somewhere. I'm just saying if you're planning to go do a sine wave or something like that, yeah, there are times where maybe that's appropriate, but by and large, you're better off going straight to your computer and aiming your activism at New Hampshire. You can start working for the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance from anywhere, reading and reviewing bills, grading legislators. You can talk up our project, our movement on web forums and Facebook. But if you go out to the streets of Dallas or Houston or somewhere to try and do something local, even if it's not civil disobedience, you could find yourself in trouble, and that trouble will slow you down in getting to New Hampshire. It's happened many times. The Bartholomew brothers out here in California just happen to be better at promoting the airstrike they called in on themselves, practically. Yes, I know what they were doing was completely legal, completely ethical. That's not my point. The point is you want your action to be not only those things, but also sound, tactically and strategically.
1 million people come to me and decide to take my money against my will. It's still taking my money against my will.
I'm glad they went and did this rather than nothing, but for the effort they put into this incident and its aftermath, they probably could have done things that had real concrete results in New Hampshire. I mean, assuming they spent, 70 man-hours on this, and maybe $5,000, I'm just guessing, with all the court costs and everything. I mean, imagine what you could do from where you are with that kind of time and resources. You could get a dozen letters to the editor published inviting people from your area to move to New Hampshire. You could be on talk radio 6 times. You could expose 2,000-3,000 people to the Free State Project concept on web forums. You could do all of those things with half the time and expense. Think about that before you pick up a sign and go to the Dallas County Courthouse with some kind of grievance. Don't let it stop you from taking action. Just let it redirect the action. What you do for New Hampshire liberty counts 10 times as much as what you do where you are. Now, if you're going to be staying there forever, okay, go for it. Good luck with that. But to be victorious, we need to fight smart. That means, at a minimum, fighting where it counts. Location, location, location. Good on the Bartholomew brothers for being courageous, but, as Napoleon said, courage is secondary. The primary characteristic of a good soldier is stamina. I'd modify that to our peaceful struggle and say that the primary qualification of a good activist is a large amount of activity in New Hampshire. Well, I guess it's sort of the same thing. Stamina of activism, keeping it up, doing a lot of it. And you can probably only do that if you do it smart. Anyhow, we can worry about the smart part later. Right now, again, location, location, location. Focus activism on New Hampshire.
Would you like to convert copper into gold? Would you like to use inexpensive copper rounds, individually numbered with numismatic potential? Would you like to earn money doing so? Well, you may be able to hit all three birds with one stone. Visit
YouGetGold.com with the letter U.